What is going on, everybody? It's lunchtime, and I fibbed in my thumbnail. We're not live from the Columbus Convention Center. I was down there already this morning. We're going to talk about that, but I came up home and we'll talk about that. But I'm here with Cory Leonard. If you don't know who that is and you're new to the show, he's just a guy that ended up being a friend who hangs out with me on Wednesdays because he likes to talk.
That's a fact.
And we like to talk too. So there it is. We came into today with a chat comment before we ever even got here from Lori Winkleman. I unfollowed Hattie the other day because of a thirst trap Danny Spiegel-esque post on her birthday. I don't need to see that shit. You have the right in America to unfollow whoever you want. I think that is fine. I don't know why we have to broadcast who we unfollow, but you have the right to unfollow whoever you want. I love Hattie. Hattie is the most down-to-earth person I've ever met in my life. And if you look through her Instagram, there is like one thirst trap-esque fit photo in the first 1 bazillion you look at.
I'm pretty sure she's got more pictures of her fighting fires than she does. I don't get it. Like, look, do what you're going to do. Congratulations. Good job. You unfollowed somebody who is, like you said, probably one of the most least offensive people I can think of on Instagram. High fives all around.
Megan Bauman, it's okay to just keep scrolling or set your phone down for the afternoon. Yeah.
Hattie the Batty. Look, still winner. The guy down there, we just call Hattie Hottie and move on. Hattie the Batty. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah. Since in over a year, I've seen maybe 1 or 2 thirst traps from Hattie. I wouldn't unfollow for one off birthday post. Someone who constantly fills the feed, maybe. But she does admit she's biased. She really likes Hattie.
Or you just look, it's just that easy.
Sabrina Seymour, Cory's your Greg Glassman Wednesday shows. Just like Savon. Yep. That's exactly it.
Yeah, except I didn't create anything.
Hattie is the bee's knees. Yeah, she gets me jazzed. So Trish, God forbid a woman feel beautiful. We'll just call Hattie Hottie and move on. Or Hottie Hattie. There we go. Larry Young. Wow, I just followed. See?
Yeah, there you
go. There we go. Net break even.
Look, life's about balance. Right. Life's about balance. Larry just brought balance back to the force. Good job, Larry.
Yep.
Oh, that is good stuff.
So, speaking of Hattie, I forgot to mention on the show yesterday because I'm battling this sinus infection and I don't know where the hell my head is, but I forgot to mention that Hattie's episode was going live yesterday at 2 p.m. But a lot of you have found it, and I appreciate that you have found it. It was so much fun to do. She was so open and honest prior to the games that there was so much story there that I couldn't cut anymore. And that's when I decided I'm going to cut it right there, put it out as episode 1, and then episode 2 will be during the games and post games.
I like it.
And thank you so much, Dents. Your episode on Hattie was awesome. Great job on episode 1. It was great. Watched it last night. Thanks for all the hard work. There's a couple others in here, but I thank you all for the kind words. It was really fun to do. And I could not believe, and I was telling Cory before we went on the air, when you get the opportunity to interview and just chat with somebody, because that's what it ends up being. The camera's just on. We're just chatting. And how much more intimate and how much more brutally honest comments you get when you're in person and not talking over StreamYard or Zoom or whatever. It just becomes much more natural. And the fact that she was getting body work for most of that second part, she was very relaxed and willing to talk about everything.
I love the whole exchange about getting her post-workout carbs after the first event, like to her, and who was going to do it and what are you going to do? And Tristan's just like, dude, I'll have it. It's fine. Relax. I can't tell you how many times I've had that conversation with like either be my son or my wife or whoever, just saying, bro, look, I got it. It's going to be okay. And you can tell like her brain's working 1,000 miles an hour, just trying to process the fact that somebody else is going to take care of it. It's going to be okay. That was one of my favorite exchanges.
Rob Gilroy just followed her. We have
that's Guillory. That's Rob Guillory. That's one of my best friends.
Okay, Rob Guillory. We have a net +1 now.
Job, Rob.
There we go.
Rob Dizzle. That's my boy, man. He's in his truck driving home. He's listening to us right now.
Trish drank an Alani, and her womanhood is quivering.
That's probably more information than I could have used all afternoon, but I mean, whatever, it's fine.
See, I could have chose to scroll on by. I didn't.
Life's about choices, guys.
And then you can say that I made a good choice or a bad choice, but I chose to click on that comment instead of scroll on by. So I probably made the mistake there.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
Traint Olive, I really enjoyed Hattie speaking on the cattiness of some of the female competitors and how nice and genuine she seems to everyone. Kind of sad, though. I know what she's saying by catty. And I think what it is there are some athletes that just focus in and don't want anybody talking to them before the event. And then there are others that, like our Ariel, who will sit down and have a full conversation with you like she's not even in an event. Like you just have different people on that spectrum. And Hattie's that way. She wants to talk. She wants to get out of her own head.
And I'm going to tell you, from being at competitions and being in the warm-up area, I wouldn't call it catty with the guys, but there are some dudes that are just locked in back there and don't really talk to anybody and whatnot. And then there's guys like me who I can go either way. I'm either locked in and not talking to anybody, or I'm talking to every single soul that runs across me. Like, it really doesn't, there's not really a whole lot of rhyme or reason as far as that concern.
I completely understand, but they don't have to be rude necessarily. I agree. There are some that take it to the rude level.
I don't know.
See, I could have made another choice, but I chose to click on another comment. I want to climb Cory's traps like a little man mountain.
Anyway, if we move past that, I always wonder too, because not personally knowing everybody back there, if you run across somebody who is just kind of locked in and not necessarily talking to somebody, it might not be that they're rude. You know what I mean? Like, they might just be a little dismissive, but it's because they're in their own world. So I try to treat everybody like I try not to get into anybody. I'm not sweating at all, believe me. I try not to get into anybody's space or try to make any kind of assumptions like that, unless they actually prove themselves to be an asshole. That's a whole different subject. But I don't necessarily think anybody's necessarily being rude right off the bat if they're not, talking or engaging or acting like I would, because everybody's kind of in their own, got their own pregame ritual, as it turns out. And I try to be as respectful of that as I can when I'm back there.
I will say this: that there are rude people. There definitely are. I was not.
Oh yeah, no, I 100% agree with that.
Right. I will. The big key for me is, if I'm back there and you have headphones on, you don't want to be. You're in a zone. Yeah. And this is your time to kind of get into that groove. And and I stay away from the headphone people, right? But then there's people that don't wear headphones, and then they just snap at like, I'm warming up here, or like, not.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But
if somebody's got headphones in, I immediately assume that they don't. You're probably not trying to. And I've recently learned that I can walk around with my headphones on and be kind of zoned out without pushing too much pressure on myself. So that was a big win for me just recently. I can be that guy. I don't have to be back there talking to every single person that I run across, although I still might.
So Rob says they call your traps the thirst traps.
He needs to stop typing and keep driving.
Some people are just introverted, and that gets read as snobby. And then you have Denise, who can't hear, apparently. I can sneak up right behind her at an event. She doesn't hear me coming, and then she turns and jumps with like...
I'm incredibly hard to sneak up on. Headphones or not.
Rob wins with that comment.
Well, he is one of my best friends, so he knows.
Sometimes it's not that people are rude. They're just really nervous. I'm an OR nurse, and when I talk to patients before a procedure, they come off rude, but they're really just freaking out mentally.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. I really can't reach it. Vicky, I'm a jump scare person too. Then I laugh uncontrollably. So, I went down to the venue today as people were picking up their kits, getting their pictures taken, doing all that kind of stuff. Got a nice... What's nice about check-in day is like you can have really nice conversations with people. And I didn't even take my camera out. I just chatted with people today.
Yeah.
And got to talk to people, catch up, got their opinions about what the weekend's going to look like. And I was trying to get down there in time to see both Jamie and Carolyne. And Carolyne, by the time I got there, was already like through the line, getting her picture taken, and I never even got to talk to her. Jamie got there. She drove late last night, got in like 10 to midnight. Saw her this morning, and she looks great. She looks like she's ready. She went and got her kit. We talked about it. It looks really nice. I don't know how it's going to hold up. The
Really?
jerseys are very t-shirtish. So I don't know.
It's
Gym Reapers.
Gym Reapers. I don't know.
The shorts looked fine. They got a couple tanks. They got a couple t-shirts. They got some shorts and some pants. The one thing that like surprised both her and I is they didn't get like a hoodie or a warm-up to have like in the warm-up area. And that is really odd for these types of events.
I don't know what that's about. What if they just don't have one?
I don't know. It's hard to believe they didn't have just a hoodie.
I don't know enough about Gym Reaper stuff. But when they announced it, like I've heard the name, of course, but I was associated that with like bodybuilding type equipment, not being in the CrossFit space. So I don't know. I know precisely nothing about any of your stuff. I didn't even get see any pictures of anybody posting any like, hey, here's what I got type stuff yet.
Well, it just happened this morning.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll see some stuff today.
Do they have a color scheme going on? Do they have a
black, gray, and white? dude.
So no.
Denise got to meet Jamie in person today. Shanna says no hoodie last year either. I think there was a warm-up though last year. It wasn't really a hoodie. It was just like a long sleeve something. There's nothing long sleeve in the kit.
Did Carolyne actually get tanks, or did she just get t-shirts? I know how she feels about tanks.
Carolyne is fine with a tank. These types of tanks. So they're not like the Razorback or the
they're like an actual tank.
Right. They're like an actual tank.
All right. Good.
There are 600 plus athletes. It could be pricey. Sure. We'll give them that. But like, this is the games. This isn't a local throwdown.
And you're paying to have your name splashed up there, being the apparel sponsor. Like,
and you're doing it at cost. You're not actually buying it because you're the one making it. But
I would say if I'm writing a contract for them, like, there's going to be a minimum standard that you have to hit. You have to be able to hit before we're going to agree to have that happen. Minimum amount of shirts, minimum amount of shorts. Like you said, something for a warm-up type area. Because I'm sure it's probably cold in the venue. Is it not?
The venue wasn't done today, so I didn't even get a chance to go in. And I don't even have my full. I have a band to get me in the door. I don't have a media credential yet because they didn't get shipped for some reason. I don't know.
Did you find out, or is there going to be like a media pit somewhere for you to go, or
no?
So what do you need a media pass for? Just to bring the camera in?
I don't know. Maybe.
You see,
there's a media room, like a work room.
Okay,
that allows me to get into.
So maybe that's for that.
I don't know. Sean in Oregon, what's your guys' take on Jason Grubb? Will he get his 6th title this year? Jason Grubb is complicated. Yeah. I like Jason. I like talking to him. I think he's a fun guy. But there's some baggage around him because of how prominent he is in the sport. And when you get to this level, I think that baggage becomes more evident. And I'm calling it baggage, but he owns a company called Boulder Athlete that a good number of the athletes at the games are members of. They do his programming, and he is their coach. And but he also sponsors events. He sponsors an event at this game with Boulder Athlete. And there's got to be a conflict of interest there.
He's programming the legends that I'm going to.
Right, but he's not competing at that.
No, but all his athletes are.
It's the same thing that we bitched about with Mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
So I like Jason, but I think he's really close to the event directors.
Oh, he absolutely
is. And because he's programming their fall event and he is sponsoring some of the events at the games. Do I think he'll get 6? It's going to be tough. He's in the upper end of his age group, and there are beasts in that age group.
We had a bunch of people that just aged up this year because he and I are in the same age group that are absolute animals. Yeah. He's going to have to fight for it, which he had to fight last year. I mean, it's not anything new necessarily. So we shall see. I am Switzerland when it comes to Jason Grubb. I try not to have an opinion.
Well, you're in his age group too.
Yeah.
Shanna, I would rather have an extra competition clothes than a hoodie so I don't have to do laundry. Good point.
Solid.
Solid. Baggage has negative connotations. Well, it's kind of negative. It's slightly negative. So it's not like a big suitcase. It's like a carry-on.
It's negative adjacent. Again, I try not to have an opinion.
Is he close to them or are they close to him?
Yes.
Tomato.
Yeah. Yes. You can just say yes. It's both. They are very, not to say other people aren't, but from my experience with, being around a bunch of them last year at Legends, they are very, very tight, like as a group of athletes. If one guy was on the floor for one heat, if there were other ones that were around there, they stopped to cheer said person on, which is cool. That is fantastic. I'm not saying that my people won't do the same thing, same type thing, but like they seem to be very, very tight. And from talking to some of his other athletes, like he answers questions personally. If he's, if you're doing his programming, he seems to like be very, very hands-on when it comes to that kind of stuff, which is cool. But to say if he's close or they're close, it's kind of a both type deal.
Yeah, I don't think that he had any input into the event at the games.
No, he did not.
His one, I think it's a passion for the Masters group. He himself has such a passion for it. He wants to give back, but it does give an air of conflict of interest at times. That's all. But it's just like Rich has a passion for CrossFit and they program all these events, and because he has a passion for it doesn't mean he's trying to be dubious or unscrupulous or anything like that. It's just there's an air of conflict.
I would definitely say that I don't think he had any hand in programming any of the events, because just from knowing some of his athletes, seeing this type of stuff that he programs, just from his Instagram page and whatnot, none of that stuff looks like. The closest would have been the 7K run, because he does like to run. He's a runner.
Sean in Oregon says it better than I have said it at all. I get it. It seems a little cozy. There we go. That's the right word.
Yeah.
That's to keep a separation of church and state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cozy is the right word.
I would say so.
And I do agree with Mark Phillips. He would actually rather have the more gymnastic programming.
Yeah, he would.
Not heavy. He is not as big as a lot of the dudes in his division.
He's not as strong as a lot of the guys in our division, period.
No.
He'll be the first one to tell you that, for sure.
So I do think he has an uphill climb. Yeah. I think it's going to be tough for him to get 6 in a row. Megan, I did some of his programming last year. He is very hands-on, does actually answer the questions himself. Great coach, but I can see the comparison with Mayhem. And he used to live in a trailer outside of Mayhem. So that's probably where he's learned his ways. He seems like a great dude and a great ambassador for the old peeps. He's gotten to a level where these things are going to happen. I wouldn't necessarily hold it against. Like I said, I love him. I love talking to him. We've had great conversations.
Yeah, he's been on the show several times, huh?
He has been. And every time I see him, we sit and talk for at least 10, 15 minutes. Great conversation. Did you see the CrossFit podcast with Hobart, Chase, and Adrian, right? Yesterday.
Yeah.
Pulled Carolyne in yesterday from the comments. I did not see them pulling Carolyne.
I caught the very tail end of it. Like they were about to sign off. My YouTube does not always, even the stuff I'm subscribed to all, I did not always get notifications that stuff like that is going on. I plan on going back and watch the rest of it. I just want to see what they were talking about. Anything with Chase and Hobart in the same area, I'm probably going to go listen to, because they probably got some.
Yeah, I'll probably listen to that this afternoon. Kenneth DeLapp, 15-month membership. Woohoo! Like, subscribe, and become a member. Support. Thank you, brother. You're a good dude. I live the climb, 5'9", 158, messed up shoulder. Weight is not my friend, but I can squat ass to the ground for all squats. There you go, buddy. That podcast was good. Carolyne was great as always. I am telling you, if someone doesn't pick up Carolyne as a color commentator for broadcast, they're foolish. She is such a CrossFit geek and nerd. Like she follows everything. Work internet is too slow to notify you, Cory.
Well, Kenneth doesn't know is that our work internet has been kind of wonky here lately.
Well, I want to make sure I get this in before we do too much, and that is, got to talk to a lot of people today. Got to see some absolute legends. And I'm not talking like the Craig Ritchie legends. I'm talking like CrossFit OG legends.
Yeah.
Got to talk to Denise Moore. I don't know if you've heard of her.
I have.
She's a CrossFit legend. I got to talk to Becca Voigt. This is her 18th trip to a CrossFit Games.
She's a unit, dude.
18th. I asked her, I said, like, they give you the name placard after every one. Like, do you have a separate warehouse you keep those in?
Right.
She said, as sad as it is, they're like piled up in the corner in my garage because I've just run out of places to put them.
Yeah. Can you imagine it? 18.
Like my jaw dropped when she said it. And I knew it was a big number. But then it was 18. I'm like, my daughter's barely older than 18.
Yeah. My son is fixing to turn 19. There you go.
Like, holy hell. So I got to talk to her, got to talk to two-time champion Rudy Berger. He was there with Scott Panchik.
Him and Scott's been training together a lot.
Chris Anderson. Got to talk to all three of them at the same time. It was cool catching up with Scott. He's excited. I think maybe we get our first Panchik podium.
I hope so, dude.
This year. Who else? Saw Marquand Jones signing in.
Quan.
I saw Kelly Friel. She's like a 5-time podium finisher at the games. Gosh, who else? It was like one person after Kyle Ruth. Got to talk to him.
I know who
that
that
talked about him about what it was like to coach Alexis at the games after her back injury, what that was all like. And now, like, he's a freshman in the 40 to 44-year-old division, just flipped over, and excited at the opportunity at being able to compete in that level as the youngest. But there's some beasts in those younger divisions, man.
Dude, 35, 39, and 40, 44, both. I mean, in my opinion, my 45, 49 is also stacked, but 35, 39, and 40, 44 have some absolute monsters. It's ridiculous.
I saw Christine Best, talked to her for a little bit. And then some people came up to me that I didn't know who they were, but they knew who I was because they're masters athletes that follow this show.
That's the best.
Which was really cool. And I'm telling them all that, like, hey, we're changing up the behind the scenes this year. We're going to have more intimate conversations where we kind of sit down and have discussions throughout the weekend. And please come find me. And so
because I can't go find you.
Right, because I can't go find you. So I'm trying to set all that up. That was what this morning was about. Like setting up all those conversations to, hey, come find me and we'll document some stuff from this weekend and put it into a behind the scenes and we'll get all that out for everybody.
Go back to Miss Becca Voigt Miller.
Let me answer this first. Do you think that these are the only age groups that will be streamed in real time, 35 to 39, 40 to 44, since Joe said only certain heats would be streamed in? I have no idea what their plan is, Traint Olive.
Let me say this, because I would definitely say 35, 39 is going to be put in there. I would probably go with 40, 44. And because Jason Grubb, 45, 49 is definitely going to get some screen time.
Yeah.
Now, as for the rest of them, I have absolutely. I'm on the same train you
and
want.
40 to 49 women have Kelly Friel and Val Vobrel. who are going to be going at it. And that was a tight match last year.
Yes, it was.
So I think that will. Val Vobrel is a legend from the early days, right? Kelly Friel, nobody heard of until Masters, and then she just kept winning. But I think that it'll be those three. But I don't know. I have not seen any plan.
I know from what they were talking about yesterday, the parts of it that I heard anyway. Well, not from that podcast, but from I listened to the Get With the Programming the other day. They were saying that they're definitely not putting everybody on there, if for no other reason than to keep Chase and Sean from having to just repeat the same thing all day long. I mean, I remember by the end of the day on Friday last year or Saturday, one of the two, like they were just delirious basically from heat after heat after heat after heat and just repeating the same thing over and over again.
Well, whoa. We've got to make a correction here. So CK Kevin said, Traint Olive or Train to Live.
Yep.
I can only see Traint Olive now because of Scott.
Correct.
All right. Traint Olive says, Scott has anointed me as Traint Olive. No. Cory. That is a Cory thing. Cory, all he could see was Traint Olive, and then it became Traint Olive. And then we as a show anointed him Traint Olive.
That's exactly how that happened.
But I want to give credit where credit is due. That is a Cory Leonard thing.
I'm gonna go ahead and take that one. Not that I came up with it, it's just how I read it.
Yeah. Cory came up with it. I made it so.
Yeah. Product of a public school education right there. What you gonna do?
Villain origin story right there. That's how I always read it.
See?
Well, and it was Winter. Winter was not part of the name originally.
No.
Come in, I think, is some clarification, hoping to get us off of Traint Olive.
Winter has only been there for about, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks now. Like that's fairly recent.
Yeah. So now it doesn't matter. It is Traint Olive. You can add whatever AKAs you want to this whole thing. It is forever Traint Olive. CK Kevin, public school education year 2.
I mean, what you gonna do?
I tried. I'm Traint Olive for life. Yes, you are.
Oh, it's gonna be your new email address.
Yeah.
traintolive@gmail.com.
But anyway, you wanted to go back to Becca Voigt.
Becca Voigt Miller. So 18 games appearances total, right? That's got to be a record.
Yeah.
I would think so, right? Like that's got to be the longevity, staying healthy, staying at an elite fitness level, because I don't give a damn if it's the regular games or the old people games, you're still elite, right? You're just elite and older. That is bananas crazy. That she's just, I made the games again this year. Oh, how many years has it been? 18.
Like her games appearances can vote.
Yes. Her games appearances can vote. They can join the military.
Yeah.
That's wild, dude. That is absolutely wild. You need to get her on the show.
I've had her on the show before.
No, I know that. But the fact that she just hit 18 and she's what? She can't be older than I am.
Honestly, the conversation I was having with her and her husband was insane. I'm so pissed I didn't have a camera running. But then again, if I had a camera running, we probably wouldn't have had the conversation. Right? That's like the yin and yang of the whole thing, right? Yeah. If I run a camera, we don't have that conversation.
No. No,
And
because
so I get the conversation because I don't have the camera running, but then I can't share it with you all. That was freaking awesome.
Because she's gonna be, but the camera's on now, so she's sitting upright and like we're paying attention to what we're saying, and we're not just saying whatever at that point. No, yeah, absolutely.
What I love about her is she hates competition. She hates it. She loves the training part. Loves going to the gym every day and just staying fit and healthy. And that's your answer, Mark. She needs to share the secret to staying healthy. She just loves going to the gym and staying healthy. The competition part is this byproduct that she just does because she qualifies.
18 times.
Yeah, like, and it's probably because she has no pressure on it.
Right. I've just been doing the same things week in and week out for the past 20-something, I'm sure, years. And I just so happen to make the games 18 times.
She doesn't like the feeling of like the nervousness of having to go out on the floor and compete. Now she loves
many people that do, dude. Like
she loves coming in and like running into Valvobro and
like the social aspect.
And right. Loves all that.
I know for me, like the moment right before or when we're in the corral and I am pacing, like I can't sit still. And it's the same reason. Like I don't want to get on. I want to get on the floor, but I don't want to get on the floor. And then once we actually get onto the floor and get in my lane, I'm good. Like let's go. Give me 3, 2, 1, go. But all that anxiety leading up to it, it's terrible.
Yeah. But anyway, it was fun hanging out with everybody. It was fun catching up with the athletes. I think I got a good base of like saying hello to people to get at least some momentum tomorrow to get some interviews. And I'm really going to try to get more than just quick hitters. I want to get like more in depth about what's happened, what they're going through in life, why they're here, what's their why, all of that kind of stuff in like a little bit longer than the quick hitters.
I like it. Got a plan.
So yeah, but I'm super excited. The last thing I wanted to leave
on, would you say you're jazzed?
I am really freaking jazzed. Really freaking jazzed. And I still have my Get Jazzed stickers. So come see me at the venue tomorrow if you're there, and I'll have some in my pocket.
Come get jazzed with Scott.
Yeah, if you're an athlete, if you're a spectator, family member, whatever, come. I got a bunch of them for free. So, yeah, come get jazzed. I will put up Howie's comment here. I just started watching, so I'm on a delay. But Lori Winkleman is someone that probably leaves her husband or wife extremely thirsty. Hattie is awesome. We don't want to call people names.
But Hattie is awesome.
But Hattie is awesome.
Not one to call anybody names, but Hattie is definitely awesome.
Time to get jazzed at the games. It is. So I'm stoked for tomorrow. I briefly talked about it yesterday. The Get With The Programming interview with Bob on Tuesday. Monday. You hadn't seen till yesterday.
Yep.
You and I were talking before the show.
Yep.
I'm going to tee you up because I'm going to say something that's going to make me look like a dick. But the thing that gets me about what Bob said in that comment, and I'm trying to poke at John George just to get him a little more fired up than
I saw all of John's comments. You don't need to poke him.
And he said that he was the only one that did the testing for these events. He also said he's been battling cancer. Now, I'm trying not to be a dick, but last I checked, if you have cancer and you have chemo and you have radiation, it's probably going to affect your fitness level.
Just a tad bit.
Like I've seen people where it has put them down lying on a couch for most of the, so
Yeah.
kudos to Bob for pushing through and doing all this work.
God
right?
bless him.
But if you're the one testing these workouts and you're going through chemo and radiation at the time, you're probably not the best tester of what fitness is.
Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there.
Maybe, just maybe, bring someone in and help you out.
I don't think it'd be very hard to do, to look at, okay, here's my top 30 guys that are going to the games. Top 30 guys, top 30 girls. I'm going to go down to 35 or 37. And I'm going to reach out to those people and be like, hey, I'm working on these things for the games. Would you mind testing them? Not at all. I can tell you from not experience, because I haven't actually had to be able a chance to do that, although I have tested some workouts for some friends that were doing competitions. But I can tell you that I know most of those people, and they would be more than happy to try them out, especially guys that are right there on that bubble trying to get to the next step.
Shanna Bunce, perennial games competitor. I think she competed last year in the 55 to 59. Took a year off competing, offered to test for them, heard crickets. Megan, Scott saying what we're all thinking. Terry, good Lord, my husband is on chemo now. He can't get off the couch. Phil DePooper. He said he did. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
That's a good one.
He did say that the workouts were done in September. He may have tested them before he knew that he had cancer.
He said one workout was done in September. The muscle up, box jump, whatever it is. All the rest of them. And either way, like when Dave is programming for the games, everybody knows this because they've seen his process. It's a year-long thing. Like coming up with ideas, runs them by people, writes them down, goes in different iterations. Hey, let's look at it this way. Hey, let's look at it that way. Gets people to test them, gets different people to test them. Like it just keeps going on. And yeah, what John said right there, he made it clear he didn't even test some of them.
He made it clear he didn't even test some of them. He also should never be the tester. That's like Dave testing. Dumb.
Yeah.
There's also something.
Yeah, I got you. It's also something called chemo brain, and thinking becomes hard. My nanny had chemo. She had breast cancer. And yeah, chemo brain is definitely a thing. Thinking becomes hard, becomes cloudy. Like it's hard to focus, blah, blah, whatever. It's a thing. And look, God bless him. I'm glad he's okay. I'm glad it's gone. I'm glad he's over it. Praying for him and his family. I'm sure it was nothing to go through. But you do not need to do it on your own. You just don't. You just don't. Especially not in the masters community. There are way more of us than there are elites or even semifinals type athletes. If you start looking at different age groups, there's just, we have numbers. That's all there is to it. So there's no reason for him to have done them alone, tested them alone, worked on them alone. Reach out. I mean, Shanna said she actually tried to reach out and said, hey, I will gladly test somebody from y'all. I'm not competing this year. Nothing. Like, why not use the resources available to you? I do not understand that whatsoever. That's beyond my level of comprehension. Phil DePooper got Scott's freaking sinuses. Just that sinus cough.
It was the chemo brain. And Mark makes a great point. Dave does all that testing for one variation of the workout. How many are there for masters? At least 3. As you get older, that workout has to change.
Yep.
And you can't test all of those age groups. He even admits that he's having a hard time figuring out where the gymnastics scaling should be.
Yeah. And that it's probably going to change next year. Like as we age up, the people who can do the things and can still do I'm still getting better at stuff. And I will be 50 in 2 years.
Right.
Like the graph is going to shift. So he's right. It's like hitting a moving target. When he said that, it's absolutely what it is, which is all the more reason, in my opinion, to use the resources you have available. Why wouldn't you? Why would you call Bill Grunler? That dude is super fit and not competing anymore. He would gladly test stuff for it.
The problem with Bill is he's very similar to who Bob is. You need someone different in the athlete that they are.
It's an example.
Right.
But like I was telling you earlier, just reach down, dude. Like 30 people are going to the games. I want to. You 200 went through semifinals. Yeah. Oh, look, Charlie Ote. Yes, I will be 50 in 2027. So year and a half or so.
And that's his goal, to make the games.
By 50.
That needs to be on a CrossFit ad. That's impressive. And your old rival.
There's the man himself.
Holy hail.
There's the man himself. Oh, Charlie. The gray hair that's in my head and in my beard you can't really see on this small screen right here, but believe me, there's plenty of it.
I'll tell you what. A competitor came up to me. Her name was Abby. She's like, "You don't know who I am, but I know who you are because I watch your show." And I said, "What are you competing in?" She said, 45 to 49. I kid you not, my jaw hit the floor.
Yeah.
I would have put her in 35 to 39 tops.
Yeah, and just got into it.
Right. And she was competing in 45 to 49. Insane. It is amazing what CrossFit is. The freaking cure.
Oh, 100%. It's not even a question. It's my baby face, right? If I shave this beard, I go from being maybe 40 something age to I probably look like I'm 32. Just because I have a baby face. But even at Legends last year, they brought us out onto the floor and the floor announcers were messing with me a couple of times talking about there's no way you belong in this age group. And I was like, actually, I'm dead in the middle of this age group, almost getting ready to age up out of it.
He's off and contradicting himself over and over. This shows he's out of touch. He also isn't looking at the big picture. Open, semis, then games. He seems to just program a single test. And then Shanna says, "John." I don't know. I'm betting that's agreement.
Yeah, I'm assuming she's agreeing with it.
And what I find interesting is when I was down there this morning is you have a whole group of athletes that are just jazzed that they are there, that they have made it.
Yeah.
That they get to go out on the floor, that they get some clothes and they get to do their thing. But then you have a group of athletes that really want to make a serious run at this thing. And those are the people that this programming is pissing off.
Everyone that came out that I sent to Jamie, she was mad about. All of it.
That's just Jamie.
I know. I'm saying that, and as I'm thinking about it, I remember that every other workout I sent to her that we were both going to have to do at some point, or she was going to have to do it and I wouldn't. She was also mad about. So there's that. God forbid if it's got a heavy barbell in it.
Yeah, last year the Echo Bike workout that she hated, she won.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. I think the only person that is excited about this programming is Scott Panchek.
Yeah.
Sprint power. Sprint power. Holy hell.
But I say, I know you're going to pull that up.
Tyson Bagent just signed a 2-year, $10 million extension worth up to $16 million with incentives. Dude,
Bear down.
He looks so good Sunday night.
Bear down.
Yeah. Bear down, Tyson.
Bear down, Tyson.
We believe in Jamie more than she does. That is 100% fact. I did a documentary on her. It was the first one I ever did. It was on her 2 years ago. She didn't believe in herself at all then. Where she has come from there is huge. And it's still not far enough.
No. She's ridiculous, dude. Like, the stuff I've seen her do in person. Whoa. Sorry about that. Stuff I've seen her do in person and the stuff I've seen her do online, and just knowing her as much as I do. Once she fully unlocks up here, because that's the only portion that's not fully dialed in, right? Because everything else is the fact that she could eat whatever the hell she wants to eat and does. Like, that's a cheat code that the majority of us do not have. And she's just like, yeah, I just eat whatever.
Tyson can buy a few diapers now.
Couple.
I
haven't had to buy any in a while, but I assume they're still expensive.
Yeah, he probably doesn't have to get the Walmart brand either.
No, if I had to guess. He probably have them delivered as well, more than likely. 10 million up to 16. Good for him, dude.
She's a beast. She is.
Yep. Still on this channel.
Yeah. I'm with you, John. I'll go check it out too. Yeah, it was the first documentary I've ever done. So please understand, it was the first documentary I've ever done. Like, where I am today to where I was then, night and day.
Hey,
but
dude.
The content in the discussions was good because Jamie and I became very quick friends. It was that weekend that we became, like, she's one of my best friends now.
She's awesome.
And it was those conversations we had that weekend that really propelled our relationship. And it was freaking awesome. So much fun. But yeah, it's old. It's
2023.
This, where's it at? That Redemption Fitness shirt right there was signed by her that weekend. And then Redemption.
Let's see.
You found it?
I'm looking for it. I know it's on the channel because I've this is gonna sound horrible, but I watched mine not that long ago. I had to show it to my wife because she had never seen it, which is hilarious in and of itself.
So I don't know if you guys can see this. Jamie just sent me a text.
Oh,
woo,
bruh.
It's not documentary playlist. I just made that.
No, it's on videos. I'm looking. I'll find it.
This is the title. Clydesdale Media presents Jamie Latimer All Access quarterfinals, fighting for a spot in the semis. That is the title.
That's it.
Yep.
These are all. Yeah, it's all 4 years ago.
So yeah, apparently it's a shit show down at the convention center. Honestly, I was surprised. I got there, and there were no rigs up. I did not see a turf floor down. So.
Oh, Mark said that was in the documentary playlist for what it's worth.
Huh. I don't know how it got there. What did it say? with the text from Jamie. It said, "This is an absolute shit show."
I just texted her. I said, I mean, how much of a shit show are we talking about?
You need a camera on Jamie the whole weekend this time.
She's doing a lot of typing. Hold on. Because, like, you know, you get the 3 little bubbles and they go away and then they come back and they go away and they come back.
All right. So I don't know if I should say this. Glad we all got the same text. Tristan. Classic Jamie. Yeah, if I could keep a camera on her all weekend, it would be definitely worth it. Because she rides the waves, man. Like up and down, and she expresses it, and she doesn't care if a camera's in her face or not.
No.
Like, it would be awesome to do. I just don't have that kind of access.
I mean, I can show you what she just texted me back.
Jar Jar Binks, 4 shirts, 2 shorts, so rude.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I know it was 2 tanks, 2 t-shirts, and I didn't see the bottoms.
Dude, we got 4 shirts and 3 pairs of shorts for Legends last year. I am
planning on getting a lot of Jamie and Carolyne in this doc. They're my co-hosts. They're who I want to feature the most. I'm hoping to get a lot of that. Do you want to read that out loud so people didn't see it?
So I texted her and I said, I mean, how much of a shit show are we talking about? And she said, full shit show, diarrhea. This is a joke. Oh my God. 8.
That's what Khan posted, was what he said about the 4 shirts and 2 shorts. So rude. It is not Belites. It is Gym Reapers. See me. And it's 8 workouts. 8 workouts. So you're going to have to do laundry at some point during the weekend. Jamie is like a female Stone Cold. Dysentery level shit show. Yeah, crazy. I will say this. I talked to a high-level official at this year's Masters Games, Age Group CrossFit Games. Bob talking on that show changed their briefing tremendously. Talk about a shit show.
Dude,
talk about a shit show.
That's news. That's breaking news. That's like dense updates breaking news. That's like some TMZ shit. Bob talking on change there. Holy shit. That's wild. That is extremely wild. If you go on the podcast where they're just talking about the programming, like that's it, because that's all they're not analyzing it yet. They're going to do that next week. They were just literally going through the workouts. Hey, why did you do this? Why did you do that? That type of deal. And if just that conversation makes them change their briefing, what the actual...
So my guess is follow-up questions given to Bob. He did an explanation to standards, and those were not the agreed upon standards prior to that appearance. Now they're going to have to switch to the standards that Bob said on the show. And I know it sounds very newsy and very TMZ-ish. I'm sure it's happened at other events.
I'm sure
we never knew about it because they just do this as a regular thing. Okay, yeah. They said this is a standard. We're going to have to switch the actual standard to that and then move forward.
Absolutely.
To look like one thing. And so,
but that's not the guy who's in charge of the thing and who wrote it. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? And I know he's not Dave Castro, and I understand that, but like, that would never happen to Dave. Like, I can't fathom a world where Dave is talking about, which he wouldn't do that to begin with, but he is talking about the workouts.
Whoa. Let's not saint Dave.
I'm not sainting Dave.
Dave has changed the standard of a workout right in front of me 3 minutes before it was about to go live.
But not to talk about it beforehand to where somebody else has to do it is what I'm getting at. No, I know he's done that. I've heard many, many stories about, no, we're going to change that right now before they take the floor. But
well, he changed it from 300 to 400, and some heats were allowed a towel and some heats weren't on the pegboard.
That part blows my mind. I still don't understand that.
So let's not give everybody an out in this. That's what I'm just trying to say.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
This happens way more than we think it does, but
it's not because something else. You know what I'm saying? It's because he's looking at it as it's happening and going, oh no, we're going to change it to this. Or right before the run, no, let's make this 400. That's going to make more sense. I get that.
It shouldn't happen here either. Right? Yeah. I agree.
100%. 100%.
Well, we've gone long. I don't have to go back to work, so went a little longer today. But really enjoyed today. We'll be down there the rest of the weekend. Maybe if Cory has time, we'll have him come on just in case like my Wi-Fi goes wooey or whatever while I'm down there. We'll try to do some lunch shows. Hopefully I can do that and maybe even bring some people on live while we're down there. That'd be fun. So maybe we can bring Jamie on live and just let her rip.
Just let her go.
See, I'll have my iPad with me. I'll try to set up the shows tonight. So we have them in the hopper. And then if you can jump on, awesome. And we'll do some shows live from the venue.
I can. I'm going to be watching as much of it as I possibly can just because I know a bunch of people that are actually competing this weekend.
Yeah, I'll try to get a handful of people, some different people maybe every day, just to hop on, give their impressions of how it's going.
Maybe you can talk to Lynette because we need somebody else that's going to give us an honest opinion about everything that's happening. She's the one right there, my brother.
Yeah, we'll do daily lunch shows, and then we'll see like how late it goes depending on wrap up. But we'll do daily lunch shows for sure.
I don't have a lot going on this weekend besides training, so I'm good. Let me know if you need me.
All right, man. Thank you guys for jumping in. I don't have to go back to work, but you knuckleheads need to get back to work. We will see everybody tomorrow on lunch with the Clydesdale. Later, guys.